If you're a local business owner who's still spending most of your marketing budget on print advertising, this video is going to help you create your first Facebook ad. I want to be very clear about who this video is for and who it's not for. Okay, so this video is for local business owners, meaning that customers come to your location or maybe you travel to their location. Okay, but you're doing business within a certain radius of where you work or live. Okay. Secondly, this is not for e-commerce businesses. If you are selling a product online, whether it's a product that's going to be shipped to the customer or something that a customer can download, this video is not for you. I think one of the things that has caused the most confusion for local business owners is that how you set up an ads campaign does really depend on what type of business structure you have. So when I listen to all of the gurus out there who talk about how to structure an ads campaign, most of them are talking to e-commerce businesses. And so they're giving advice that's actually completely opposite of what local business owners should be doing to find success with online advertising. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're dealing with an ads account that is in our business manager. So the first thing we're going to do is go to business.facebook.com. Then at the bottom left-hand corner, click Settings. Once you're in Settings, select Ad Accounts. If you don't have an ad account inside your business portfolio, you will click the Add button over here, and then you can either create a new ad account or claim an existing ad account. So you may have created an ad account that is actually under your own name instead of your business name. So if that's the case, you can just claim that ad account into your business portfolio. Why do you want to do that? Because while we're not going to cover it today, in the future, you may very well want to use the pixel with your ad account, and the pixel will only be able to connect to your ad account if it's part of your business portfolio. Okay, so you also, if you're dealing with an agency in the end who's helping you run your ads, this is the feature they're going to use to get access to your ads account. So you do want to make sure your ads account is correctly set up inside your business manager. Great. Now you have your ad account inside your business portfolio. If you go over here to the left-hand side and select Ads Manager and Campaigns, we can start a new campaign. Now we're in the campaign section of Ads Manager. If you've never run an ad before, this information will be blank. If you have run an ad before, then you'll see your campaigns here. I have a few in draft. This is a test account for me. I love testing all the new features of Facebook ads as they come out. But what we're going to do now is click Create so that we can get a new campaign started. When you click Create, the first thing you're going to have to make a choice about is the type of campaign we want to run, meaning the campaign objective. Think of the objective as the goal. If you scroll over the objectives, you will see Facebook tells you what the goal is or what you can accomplish with each type of campaign objective. What goes wrong here is people try to overthink and outthink Facebook, and you're just not going to. So you want to make sure you understand which objective to choose. Again, make sure you understand this video is for local business owners, because most videos about Facebook ads will tell you not to choose the awareness objective. For businesses that are advertising to entire countries at a time, the awareness objective can be very pricey, honestly, in the end, and it doesn't really produce a great result. However, for local business owners, awareness is exactly what we want to create, particularly if you're transitioning from print advertising to online advertising. This is what I'm going to suggest you start with: awareness. We always want to be creating awareness for our business. And as a local business, we're not going to be able to create an actual sale online, which is what this sales objective is for. So we want to create an awareness, because you'll see awareness in Facebook's terms here means that our ad is going to be shown to the people who are most likely to remember the ad. And that's exactly what we want. We want to create awareness about our business in our local communities so that when people want the product or service that we're providing, they remember that ad and they give us a call. There are a lot of settings within Ads Manager, and in this video, there are some I am just going to skip because as a local business, they just don't apply to you. One example would be up here, auction versus reservation. Just make sure you leave this set to auction, then click awareness and continue. All Facebook ad campaigns have 3 parts. We are in the overall campaign settings, and you want to give your campaign a name. Doesn't really matter what you name it. I will say some people put the date in here. If you're having a specific sale or event that you're trying to advertise, you might want to put the name of that in here. But ultimately, it's up to you. I'm just going to change this to local awareness campaign for right now. You just click and then you can type in the name that you want for your campaign. If you are part of special ad categories, you do need to make sure that you identify yourself as such here. Special ad categories apply to financial products and services, employment, housing, social issues such as politics and elections. I am not covering that in depth at all. Just know that those categories do have to be identified, so make sure you declare your special ad category if it applies to you. This video is really more for local business owners. So we're going to keep moving down. Again, we're staying with our auction type. We already selected awareness. We are going to leave Advantage campaign budget completely alone, which means we are done with everything on this page because we're also not going to get into A/B split testing. That is not something I recommend you try to overwhelm yourself with because that's probably how you will feel if you're new to Facebook ads, is just overwhelmed with that, and it's not something we need to do. So click next. Now we are at the ad set level, and here is where we really want to pay attention. Again, we get to name this ad set. I'm going to name it exactly what we named the last section. I'm going to call it local. And then leave the rest alone for right now for me, but you can name, again, follow any naming convention that makes sense to you. The goal of our ad. We want the maximum reach. You will see you can change this, but I would lead it to maximum reach of ads for right now. Your Facebook page, make sure you have the page selected that you're working with. If you have more than one Facebook page in your business portfolio, it is important to make sure that you have the correct page selected here because this is the page name that will appear on your ad. Don't worry about the cost per result goal yet, particularly as a new advertiser. It would be really hard to set that in a realistic way. Again, don't worry about dynamic creative right now. Let's go right down to our budget and scheduling section. Here you can set a daily budget. I recommend that you do that. And it can be anywhere from $3 a day up. Okay. So for right now, I'm going to leave my daily budget set to $5 a day. You can schedule a start time if you want to. I usually just let this be. You do not have to schedule a start time. You can set an end date. Now, here's something I do want to say about setting an end date. If you click on that, you can set an end date. The only time I really recommend setting an end date is if you are advertising a local event. I have seen where people forget to turn off their ads for their local event, and the ad is running like a week to 2 weeks or even longer after the event has passed. That's just a lot of money that you're spending that you don't need to spend. So if you are advertising an event or a specific sale that has an end date or something that has an end date, make sure you set this. Otherwise, you can leave it unchecked. We are going to not really run our ads on a schedule. I don't recommend that. And I'm not going to recommend the schedule budget increases. We're going to keep this pretty simple to start with. Now, where audience controls is one of the most important things that you will set. Okay, so you'll notice by default, right? The location is set to United States. One of the biggest mistakes I see for local businesses is they don't change this. Partly because you'll notice until I scrolled over it, it doesn't even look like you can change it. So I understand, but you want to click on this and click edit. Okay, now how we're going to set this is based on where your local business is located. Okay, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. For example, you can look for your specific business name. You may be able to find that in here. Or you can look for the town that your business operates out of. So let's say you run a cafe in Ithaca, New York. I'm going to say Ithaca, New York, and it's going to auto-populate here. And we're talking about the city of Ithaca. I'm going to click right on that. Okay, now you'll see I have set my location to Ithaca, New York, plus 25 miles. You can change this radius. You'll see it on the map, right? It gives you an actual radius of what we're looking at for where people are going to see your ads. This is a hard control, meaning Facebook will not be showing your ad beyond what you set here. If you are a business that people are coming to, you want to really think about how far people are willing to travel to come to your business. If you're in a town that has, for example, a number of local pizza shops and you're a pizza shop, the distance people are willing to travel to you is probably less versus if you're out in the country. Like, for example, I live in the country. I have to drive at least 6 miles just to get to the grocery store. Sometimes I'm willing to drive 25 miles for a pizza. Okay, so this number really varies. Also, if your local business is going to your customer, how far are you willing to drive to your customer? So if you are a heating and electrical technician, are you willing to drive 25, 50 miles to your customer? You can change this by going right down here to this box. So maybe we're just going to say change it to 10 miles. Okay, that's fine. Again, maybe you want to set this all the way to 50. You can type it in or you can use the little slider and pull it all the way over. There we go. So set that based on what's realistic for your business. Okay, now that you've selected your location where your ad is going to show, you will see it gives you an estimated audience size over here. Don't worry too much about this. It's really important that you select locations and radiuses and distances that are realistic for your business. Don't worry so much about what it says over here about estimated audience size or estimated daily results. Usually you will see an estimated daily result here. How closely your results match the estimated daily result, yeah, that's going to vary widely. So don't worry too much about what it says there. This changes with the changes that you make to your campaign. As we scroll down, the thing I do want to say is you may want to click on, it may not be open for you. Again, sometimes you just have to magic click in the square and then it will open. You may want to adjust things like the age. If, for example, it's normally set to 18 to 65 plus. If, for example, you have a business like a winery or brewery or a bar where you can't serve people under 18, you probably want to set this to 21. This is the suggestion to Facebook. It doesn't mean that they won't show it to anybody who's under 21, but you're suggesting, hey, let's not show this ad to anybody who's 21 or older or younger, rather, because it doesn't make sense for your business. Gender, again, I mostly would leave that alone unless what your business is aimed specifically at men or specifically at women. If that's the case, then come in here and select one of these options. And that will help Facebook know, hey, I'm only going to show this ad to men. I'm only going to show this ad to women. When it comes to detailed targeting, I really don't recommend it for local businesses. It most likely, for most areas, is going to make your audience size way too small. We really want to show this ad to the people who are most likely to remember it. And if you are a restaurant, a winery, a brewery, advertising in a local area, you don't really need to use the detailed targeting. Facebook's going to figure that out with their algorithm. Okay, we're going to scroll down. Placements, Advantage Plus placements. Probably the first time you run an ad, you're going to just let this be exactly that. Advantage Plus placements. You can select edit and choose manual placements if you want to. I always actually do this with my ads because I've been running ads for a long time and I understand what works here and what doesn't. But the first time you run an ad, there's no harm with going with advantage placements. If you specifically know that, for example, you don't want your ad to show up on Instagram or on Facebook, then uncheck those. The audience network, you also can uncheck. People have various experiences with the audience network. So if you feel strongly about that, uncheck it. Otherwise, just run with advantage placements. And then we'll click next. Okay, for this video, I'm keeping this part super simple. I'm going to go into Canva, okay? I'm going to click Create Design. I'm going to type in Facebook ad. I'm going to scroll down to where it says Facebook feed ad. We're going to get the square, 1080 by 1080. Now we're in Canva, and again, let's keep this super simple. If you click Create Design and type in Facebook ad, and then select Facebook feed ad, that's what we want to set up. I strongly suggest if you're not somebody who's really used to Canva or really used to design, select one of the templates that they suggest as a feed ad template, okay? You can scroll down and see some of the options here. There might be something that jumps out specifically for you. I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm just selecting this first option right here, and then I'm going to customize it a little bit before we use it. Okay, so I've customized my photo. I'm going to download it and save it to a location that I know so I can upload it to our ad. Now we're back in Ads Manager. We select single image. We're going to scroll down and click Setup Creative and select Image Ad and upload the image that we created over here along with some of our text options. So for this example, I'm pretending I have a cafe. Okay, and I've already written out my primary text, my headline, I've created my image. I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm going to tell you a couple things. Feel free to use ChatGPT to come up with ideas. You can also check out the Facebook ads library to get some ideas, but do not copy people's ads. I'll give you the link right here. Okay, you can get an idea what other people are saying in their ads. Whatever you choose to go with, you got to start somewhere. If you're already running print ads, you might just take that print ad and sort of recreate it into this digital ad and see how it performs online. So let me go ahead and grab my primary text. The goal of your primary text is just to tell people what you want them to know. So if you're advertising your business, put some of your business information in here. If you're advertising an event, put some of the event detail in here, okay? Just the information that you want to share with the people who are going to see your ad. You can add text options. All right, you can have up to 5 text options. You'll notice it created some for me. You can select apply all text variations, but I strongly recommend that you read through these variations that were generated for you, right? Wake up to a perfect morning. And these are just examples from what I put in here, and see if they really work for you. You can uncheck the ones that don't work. You can select them all. However you decide is right for your business is perfectly fine here. Okay. Then we're going to type in our headline. Okay, you want to make sure you have a headline for your ad. You can click over these little boxes too, and it'll kind of tell you up to 5 brief headlines to let people know what your ad is about. Each headline can have a maximum of 255 characters, okay? And you're going to get to see where all this information appears on your ad once we are done filling out this section here. You can create multiple headlines if you want to, just like we did with the text. That part's up to you. Description includes additional details, a call to action. All the information we're setting up on this screen, I want you to know once we hit click next, we're going to be able to adjust it on the next screen as well. So put as much in here as you're comfortable with. I'm a very visual person, so I don't actually like this setup at all because I can't see where the information is going. I want to see it as I'm creating it. So do what you're comfortable with here. Call to action, I am going to talk about after this section. So I'm going to leave that be for right now and click next. Okay, here you're going to click upload to upload whatever you're using. If it's a picture, if it's an image, if it's a video, click upload here, and then you'll be able to select the media you're using and upload. It can take a minute for your media to upload. It will say processing. For videos, it will take longer. Just know that it will. Just let it go for a few minutes. It's not broken. If it doesn't completely show here, again, don't get too upset about it. You can click next and we can still change it after we get out of this setup. I'm going to select my image since it did finally upload and click next. Facebook is going to give us a preview of how the media we selected is going to look in various types of placements. I do make sure we have checked enable flexible media because then Facebook can kind of adjust what we have given it to fit the various placements. Think about the fact that people will view your ad on mobile, on tablet, on desktop. Those are all different sizes. And then they'll view it in the regular feed. They'll try to make a story out of it. They'll view it in Reels. They'll view it in all kinds of places. So it's great to just leave this enable flexible media option selected. When you're done here, click next. Okay, AI generation when it comes to images on Facebook, I'm not feeling it yet personally, but if you want to see, and you'll see like they generated things over the picture I had selected, none of these are automatically selected. Facebook knows that this is still something that they're working on. I don't personally like what they've generated, but you can opt for it to generate new pictures for you with the background only. They give an example. It is good for products. Again, though, we're a local business, so this may not be what we want. I personally am not going to select this option. I'm just going to click done. Okay, and now Facebook has created a preview for us of our ad in the different locations, okay? You can select this option to advanced preview and it will fill the screen with all the previews from the various placements that your ad will be displayed. I'm going to skip that part for now. We're going to scroll down. Our primary text stayed there. We had selected here. You'll see these are the text variations we had selected. We can see these here. We're going to keep scrolling. Okay, for this ad, for the call to action, you want to select one of three options. No button, which is perfectly fine. This is not an ad that necessarily people are going to, that you need a call to action for. But you can put get directions. When you select get directions, if you get an error message, make sure that you actually have filled out your street address. Okay, so people can get directions, or contact us. I like the contact us button the best, or no button. Those are my suggestions. I'm going to keep it really simple with this and go no button. This ad is not necessarily about people clicking a specific call to action. We do hope that if they choose to click, they're going to click through to your Facebook page, but it's really more about creating awareness for your business. So we are keeping it simple. Tell people where to send people immediately after they tap or click your ad. If you're hoping people might send you a message, you could choose a messaging app. You could have people go to your website. You can have people call. Oftentimes calls are generated accidentally, so I don't always recommend that. I would recommend a messaging app or website. Now we're going to move past those options. If this is an event, you can click the add event here and you can add event details. If you have your pixel set up, you can click it here. If not, it's not a big deal. We're really keeping this super, super simple. We're not even touching this right now. So once you're done, you will click publish, okay? And what will happen after you click publish is your ad will go into a preparing state. If you schedule a time, it's not going to start before the time that you scheduled, and it may not start immediately at the time that you scheduled, depending on when you clicked publish on your ad. Just know that it will go into preparing. Sometimes it can take as long as 2 hours for an ad to complete the preparing process, and then your campaign should be active. Once your ad is fully up and running, it will say active over here in your list of campaigns. It may even show you recommendations that you want to make after the campaign has been running for a little while. I do recommend once you've hit publish, just let it sit for like 24 hours before you go back in and make any changes. Let it go through preparing, enter active state, and then come back after 24 hours and sort of check and see what's happening. Just leave it alone. You're not going to change anything in those first 24 hours that's going to make it any better. When you're ready to stop running the campaign, I recommend just turning the entire thing off. If you click here, you'll see like this one is on. If I clicked on it, it would turn it off. That is how you get going with your first awareness campaign. Congratulations on setting up your first Facebook awareness ad. Be sure to check on your ad about every 24 hours just to make sure that it's performing the way that you would like. You can turn your ad on or off at any time that you would like. Remember, this is not a go viral type of ad. This is part of the process of creating awareness for your business. Creating awareness for your business should be one of those daily tasks that you engage in to grow your business. So this won't be the only ad that you create. Local businesses do need to create new ads about once a month. So you will start to see the ads performance go down over time because people will get bored with that ad and you'll want to create a new one. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to help.